Good morning. In the previous video lecture, we have discussed about 8286 architecture. While we are discussing about the architecture, I have told that the 8286 operates in two different modes, such as real addressing mode and protected virtual addressing modes. In this video, the real addressing mode as well as virtual addressing modes are being discussed. Let us start with real addressing mode. In the real addressing mode of operation, 8286 executes a fully upward compatible instructions of 8086 instruction set. It works as a fast 8086 microprocessor. In real addressing mode, the 8286 object code is compatible with 8086 and 8088 software. In this addressing mode, the 8286 address a contiguous array of up to 1 megabytes of physical memory using the address line A0 to A19 and VHE signal. The lines A23 to A20 should be ignored in real addressing mode. During addressing the physical memory of up to 1 megabytes, the 8286 uses VHE along with the address lines A0 to A19 in the real addressing mode. The address line bits A23 to A20 will not be always 0 in this mode. Hence, A23 to A20 should not be used by the processor when the 8286 operates in real addressing mode. The 20-bit physical address is generated in the same way as that in 8086, and the address calculation in real addressing mode is as similar to that of 8086, and it is shown in figure. You can compare it with the 8086 physical address generation and you can see the similarity of it and you can easily understand it. The segment selector portion of the pointer is used as the upper 16 bits of 20-bit segment address. The lower 4 bits of 20-bit segment address are always 0. Therefore, segment address begins on a multiple of 16 bytes. In this addressing mode, all segments are 64 kilobytes in size and may be read, write or executed. An exception or interrupt can occur if data operands or instructions attempt to warp around the end of a segment. In real addressing mode, the 8286 reserves two fixed areas of memory, namely system initialization area and interrupt table area. Memory locations from address FF0 to FFFF are reserved for system initialization. The memory location from 00000 through 0003FF are reserved for interrupt vectors. That's all about the real addressing mode. Let us start discussing about the protected virtual addressing mode. The 8286 executes a fully upward compatible superset of 8086 instructions in protected virtual addressing mode. The protected virtual addressing mode operates of 8286 processor provides memory management and protection mechanism and associated instructions. The 8286 enters into protected virtual address mode from real address mode when the protection enable bit of machine status word is set with the execution of load machine status word instruction. This operation mode also provides extended physical and virtual memory address space, memory protection mechanism, and few operations to support operating system and virtual memory. In this mode, 8286 provides a 1 GB virtual address space per task mapped into a 16 megabytes physical address space defined by the address pins A0 to A23 and VHE signal. The virtual memory address space must be larger than the physical address space, since any use of an address that does not map to a physical memory location will cause a restartable exceptions. The protection mode uses a 32-bit pointer which consists of 16-bit selector and a 16-bit offset component as shown in the diagram. So it consists of a 16-bit selector and a 16-bit offset component. The selector specifies an index into a memory resident table rather than the upper 16 bits of the real memory. The 24-bit base address of desired segment can be obtained from the table in the memory. The 16-bit offset will be added to the segment base address to form the physical address. The figure shows the memory address in protected virtual addressing mode. The segment address tables are referred by the CPU, whereas a segment register is loaded with a selector. The memory based table holds 8-byte value called descriptor. The descriptor states how to use the memory by 8286 processor. Some special types of descriptors are used to define a new function for transfer of control and task switching. The 8286 has segment descriptors for code, stack and data segment. This process, also known as system control descriptors, for special system data segment and control transfer operations. So in the preceding video, we will be discussing about the code and data segment descriptor, system segment descriptor, gate descriptor, segment descriptor cache registers, code and data segment descriptor. The code and data segment descriptor contain segment base address, segment attribute including segment size up to 64 kilobytes, access rights such as read, read write execute and execute read, and presence in memory from virtual memory system. Figure shows the code and data segment descriptor and access write byte definitions are being illustrated as follows. The bit 7 is named as presence. When the presence p is equal to 1, then its function is the segment is mapped into the physical memory. When the presence p is equal to 0, at that instant of time, no mapping of physical memory exists. Base and limit are not used. Next, the bit number 6 and 5 are being reserved for descriptor privilege level, DPL, descriptor privilege level. Its function is the segment privilege attribute are used in the privilege test. Next, bit number 4. This is nothing but of segment descriptor. When the segment descriptor is equal to 1, code or data segment descriptor are selected. When S is equal to 0, system segment descriptor is being used. Next, bit number 3. It is nothing but of executable. So this executable bit number 3 is being used when it is equal to 0, then data segment descriptor type is used. Then bit number 2, expands descriptor. When ed is equal to 0 at that instant of time, offset must be less than or equal to the limit. When ed is equal to 1 at that instant of time, expand down segment offset must be greater than the limit. Next is nothing but of bit number 1. The bit number 1 is nothing but of writable. When the writable bit is equal to 0 at that instant of time, data segment may not be written into, and when it is equal to 1, the data segment may be written into. If the S is equal to 1 and E is equal to 0, then at that instant of time, this data segment are not being selected. If S equal to 1 and E is equal to 0, at that instant of time, data segment is selected. If S equal to 1 and E is equal to 1, at that instant of time, code segment is being selected. When code segment is being selected, that is when S is equal to 1 and E is equal to 1, at that instant of time, bit number 3 to 1 has different functions. When bit number 3 is nothing but of executable bit, when E is equal to 1, code segment descriptor type is being selected. And similarly, when C is equal to 1, that is bit number 2 is equal to 1, at that instant of time, the code segment only be executed. And bit number 1 will be readable, not can be of writable. And when R is equal to 0, readable is equal to 0, code segment may not be read, and when it is equal to 1, code segment may be read. The remaining bit is of 0 and 1, they are of accessed bits. When access bit is equal to 0, segment is not accessed. When access bit is equal to 1, the segment selector loaded into segment register. Next, we will discuss about the system segment descriptors of 8286 processor. The protected mode of 8286 states the system segment descriptor which contains a table of descriptors, that is local descriptor, table descriptor, and segments which holds the execution state of task. The figure shows the system segment descriptor and system segment descriptor fields. This descriptor consists of 24-bit base address of segment and 16-bit limit. So this is nothing but of the 16-bit limit, and this is nothing but of these two combined together. This is 0 to 16 and from 16 to 23. Sum together it will be of 24 bits. So it consists of a 16-bit limit and 24-bit base address. The axis of byte defines the type of descriptor, its states and privilege levels. Bit 4 of the access byte is always 0 to indicate the system control descriptor. Let us now discuss about the functions of P, DPL and types 1, 2 and 3. The system descriptor can function in 3 types, 1 to 3. Let us discuss in detail now. When P is equal to 0, when P is equal to 0, at that instant of time, the descriptor content not valid. When P is equal to 1, then the descriptor content are being valid. The type is of 1, 2 and 3 If it is of type 1, then it will be of available task state segment. If it is of type 2, then it is of local descriptor table. If it is of type 3, then it is of busy task state segment. Next about DPL. Descriptor privilege level. The descriptor privilege levels can be of any of the type from 0 to 3. The base is of 24-bit number. The base address of special system data segment in real memory. And limit is of 16 bits. Its description is offset of the last byte in the segment. Let us now discuss about the gate descriptors. The gate descriptors are used to control the access to entry point within the target code segment. There are 4 types of gate descriptors such as call gate, task gate, interrupt gate and trap gate. The gate descriptor provides information regarding indirection between the source and the destination of control transfer. Call gates are used to change privilege levels. Task gates are used to perform a task switch. The interrupt and trap gates are used to specify interrupt service routines. The figure shows the gate descriptor and gate descriptor fields. The gate descriptor consists of a 16-bit destination selector, a 16-bit destination offset and access byte formation. The operation of access formations are as follows. DPL is nothing but of descriptor privilege level and it is for type 0 to 3. Next is of word count. The word count is from 0 to 31. The number of words to copy from the caller stack to called procedural stack only used with call gate. Then destination selector. It is of 16 bits and it selects target code segment and selects target task state. Next about destination offset. It is also of 16 bit. Its function is to entry point with the target code segment. Next let us discuss about the selector fields. In the protected mode of 8286, the selector has 3 fields such as descriptor, entry index, local or global descriptor table indicator and selector privilege. The figure shows the selector field. The first 2 bits D1 to D0 are called request privilege level RPL, request privilege level field. The D2 bit states the descriptor table type. The index D15 to D3 bit are used to indicate the descriptor base in the descriptor table. Let us now discuss about the functions of each bits. Bit 0 to bit 1, request privilege level. It indicates the selector privilege level description desired. It indicates the selector privilege level desired. Bit number 2, table indicator TI. When TI is equal to 0, it uses global descriptor table. When TI is equal to 1, it uses local descriptor table. Next from bit 3 to bit 15. Index. It is used to select descriptor entry in the table. Now let us discuss about the local and global descriptor table. The local and global descriptors table contains all description accessible by the task at a given time. Actually, a descriptor table is a linear array of up to 8 kilobytes of descriptors. The upper 13 bits of the selector field are an index into a descriptor table. Each descriptor table has a 24-bit base register to locate the descriptor table in the physical memory, and it has a 16-bit limit register which confines descriptor access to defined limit of the table. The figure shows the local and global descriptor table. The global descriptor table contains descriptors available to all tasks. The local descriptor table LDT contains descriptors that can be private to a task. All tasks may have their private local descriptor table. The global descriptor table may contain all descriptor types except interrupt and trap descriptors. The local descriptor table contains segment, task, gate and call gate descriptors. A segment cannot be accessed by a task if its segment descriptor does not exist in either global descriptor or local descriptor table at the time of access. The load global descriptor table and load local descriptor table instructions loads the base and limit of the global descriptor table and global descriptor table. The load global descriptor table and load local descriptor table are privileged, and these instructions may only be executed by programs at privilege level 0. The load global descriptor table instruction loads a 6-byte field containing the 16-bit limit and 24-bit physical base address of global descriptor table. Let us now discuss about the interrupt descriptor table of 8286. In the protected mode, the 8286 processor has a third descriptor table known as interrupt descriptor table IDT. The IDT can be used to define up to 256 interrupts. The figure shows the interrupt descriptor table. The IDT contains task gate, interrupt gate and trap gate. The IDT has a 24-bit physical base and a 16-bit limit register in the CPU. The privileged load interrupt descriptor table instruction loads these registers with a 6-byte value in same way of load global descriptor table instruction. Usually, the IDT entries are made through INT instructions, external interrupt vector or exceptions. The IDT should have 256 bytes in size to allocate space for all reserved interrupts. Now let us discuss about the privilege of 8286. The 8286 processor can support a 4-level hierarchical privilege system which controls the use of privileged instructions and access to descriptors within a task. The figure shows 4-level privilege mechanism. The privilege levels are numbered 0 through 3. The level 0 is the most privileged level, whereas level 4 is the least privileged level. The privilege levels provided protection within a task. The operating system routine interrupts, handlers and other system softwares can be protected from unauthorized access within the virtual address space of each task using the 4 level of privilege. Each task in the system has a separate task for each privilege level. Task, descriptor and selectors have a privilege level attribute that can find out whether the descriptors may be used. The task privilege has effect on the use of instruction and descriptors. The descriptors and selector privileges only affect access to the descriptor. That's all about the modes of operation of 8286 microprocessor. Let us discuss about 8386 architecture in the next video lecture. Thank you.